Hello and welcome back. Today I am actually getting ready to do the most last minute makeover ever. I wanted to get out of the house today. I thought, well, my sister's been talking about kind of like doing a little refresh on her room. We live about like 40 minutes apart, and so I was like, all right, I will just come over to your house. We can do a quick little refresh. It's nothing massive, but I want to do maybe like some new bedding, rearrange a little bit if I can, just add a few things in there to just refresh her space. And I think it'll be really fun. I'll get to spend the day with my sister. It gives me an opportunity to just kind of step away from the house a little bit today. But with that being said, it is so last minute. Like it's 10:30 right now about, and we just decided this about an hour ago. So I finished getting ready, packed up just a couple things that I'm taking from the house. I'm gonna run into TJ Maxx, maybe Ross, and maybe Walmart. I'm not really sure, just to grab like 4 or 5 things that I'm wanting to incorporate into a room. Then we'll get started. So let's head into the store. I'll take you guys with me, see what we can find, and then we'll start the makeover. And I'll show you where we're starting in her room. So let's do this. I wanna hear you say that you only want me.
I love this dress, feeling this fresh. Even the mirror said yes, ain't no doubt. Impressed, bringing out my best. Shot in the dark, lit like a spark. Trust me when I hit the top, gonna make it pop. Knock it out that park. Don't need nobody, as long as I got lightning in my body. Oh, now it's my body, yeah. And you can bet that I don't care who's watching, because I feel so good.
So I spent about $150 on a few new things for this makeover. Found some shelves, a new rug, some really pretty bedding, and a few new decorative items. But you guys will be blown away to see the transformation from the before to the after. We are going to be rearranging, just getting creative. Anytime you're trying to do a full makeover like this on a budget, you should definitely look into rearranging your space. A lot of times that can give just a really unique new feel. You also want to get very creative, so kind of think outside of the box on things and shop the deal stores and thrift stores. So like I'm at TJ Maxx, I'm going to Ross in just a few minutes, and then we're actually gonna stop at Walmart. And those kind of stores will also let you kind of get the most bang for your buck, but also do not look past thrifting. Now, I didn't go to a thrift store specifically for this makeover. However, some of the items that I'm using at my sister's house were things that I already owned that I found at the thrift store. So definitely do not look past that. But I love makeovers like this because it just shows that you really do not need a lot of time. Like I mentioned, this was put together in like less than an hour. I mean, like planned out, I guess, in less than an hour. And then it actually just only took 1 day to complete. And then it did not take a lot of money. You don't need to have a massive budget to make a big change. So keep that in mind as you're hanging out with me and watching today's makeover. But let me know if you have any spaces in your home that you're wanting to make over. I would love to hear kind of what you have planned. And that way, hopefully I can find new spaces to make over for you guys that would give you the most inspiration. So let me know in the comments.
Look at me, nobody is bringing what I'm bringing. Move my feet to the beat. Don't care about no opinions. Set it free. I gotta be right here 'cause fun is calling. Just doing me, but suddenly I got this whole room falling like cut on a fatty, babe. Cut on a fatty, babe.
Okay, so I got almost all the things I need. I still couldn't find curtains that were quite tall enough. So I think I actually have some back at my house, so I'll just grab those probably tonight. But let me show you what we're starting with. This is just my sister's bedroom. And actually, if you remember seeing, I did my niece's bedroom, this is her mom. So that's kind of like tying them all together. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and actually try to like rearrange the furniture in here first, see if I can get like a little bit different layout. Obviously here is the door, and right when you walk in, you just walk right into the bed itself. I'm gonna see if I can put it this way because I measured it and it'll actually come out at the same length right here, but then it'll kind of maybe make the space feel a little bit larger. So we'll see how it goes. If not, we can always put it back here. Also, she did get a desk. There used to be like a chest here, but she found a desk at Goodwill for $30 the other day. So I'm gonna bring that in too, but we just might like rearrange where it's gonna go. Anyway, let me show you what we're starting with and we'll get to work.
Are you into that? Say anything you want.
Okay, so one of the things that I really wanted to do in her room is actually get her some new bedding, because the bedding she has now is like a darker gray, and if you go lighter, it's going to make the room feel lighter and more spacious, and also white is just very clean and refreshing. And so I got some white bedding. I got a quilt, but before I use it, I obviously want to put it in the wash, so I'll go ahead and take it apart. It's this like really pretty quilt with this detailing on it. I love the texture. We'll stick this in the wash and let this like wash and dry while we're working on other projects.
So remember that. Do all the things you want. Do all the things you want.
So before we get into rearranging and adding things into my sister's bedroom, I wanted to say a big thank you to Earth Breeze for teaming up with me in today's bedroom makeover video. So here I'm just tossing the new bedding into the washing machine before we use it, and to wash it, I'm using Earth Breeze eco-friendly laundry sheets. There's lots to love about these laundry sheets, but let's first talk about convenience. Instead of buying the big, heavy jugs of detergent that are majority just filled with water, and then dealing with the mess of pouring it out, and the drips, and the little messy cups, you just pull out these pre-measured dissolvable sheets and use either half a sheet for a small load or a whole sheet for a larger load. It's clean, it's space-saving, and you can feel better about this choice because they eliminate single-use plastic packaging, and what you get instead is a simple package that contains 60 loads per package, and the small pouches they come in are recyclable. And it's also nice that Earth Breeze is so compact, so it takes almost no space to store them in your laundry room. And as for the detergent sheets themselves, they are made without harsh chemicals like dyes, parabens, phosphates, and preservatives. And I love this because it's just another one of those really simple swaps to remove toxins from your home. They come in both unscented and a fresh scent option. So if you want a gentler clean without harsh chemicals, switch to Earth Breeze, and they're also backed by 100% money back guarantee, so you can basically try them risk-free. Right now you can get 40% off with your subscription at earthbreeze.com/Amanda. So I will leave all that information down in the description box for you guys. One of the best things that I can recommend when you are trying to do like a room makeover is to reimagine your space. Now, it's so easy for us to get just hooked into how our space has looked, and we kind of don't think that it can look any other way. We're just used to it, so our minds don't even go there. But one of my favorite things to do is to ask a friend their idea. For example, when I came into here, I was like, hey, can I rearrange the space? What do you think? And she was like, I don't think it's gonna work any other way. I think this is kind of the only way it can be set up. And I was like, okay, well, let me just test it out. We moved the bed, and immediately we were both like, yes, this is 1000% how this room was meant to be set up. It worked so much more beautifully. It gave so much more space. She was not going to do this just because that's the only way that she had ever seen it done, and she had lived in this space for so long. And so keep that in mind. Sometimes your spaces just need a new perspective, and you will be thanking me later. It always makes such a difference, and you'll just be surprised to see how somebody else would have set up the same space. So this desk was a thrift store find from my sister. She found it for $30 recently and fits the space perfectly. But now we have like a really perfect spot to put it right next to the bed. And I love this because it's really a pretty desk. So it's going to add to the focal wall of the bedroom, which is where the bed is. But it's also going to serve as not only a desk, but also kind of like a nightstand right here. So I love when you're working in a smaller space to really make the most of your items and make sure they are like multifunctional. So she has a desk and a nightstand in one. One of the things that I talk about all the time is how the details really are what makes spaces so unique and like custom. And so even though you might think to overlook things like knobs on a desk or a dresser or whatever it is, really it is going to make a difference. So like these are the ones that she had before, just these little like silver kind of typical knobs. These are some that I had ordered on Amazon a long time ago. I actually used them on my nightstand in the bedroom at home, but it's just gonna make everything kind of pull together because we're using a lot of gold tones. So do not overlook details. And we're actually gonna tie the desk and the nightstand together with these knobs because her nightstand has knobs as well that we're gonna replace. It's a little detail, but it'll tie things together and make it look really custom. One thing that my sister was saying she wanted is some storage. So I found these shelves. They are on clearance for $16 each from TJ Maxx. They're so pretty. They have like this gold detailing. They do have a light wood, but it's just so pretty. Honestly, it's okay. Like the light wood actually kind of matches the gold, so you don't really even notice it. But these are gonna be really pretty and easy to hang. If we can add some plants in here, it'll just give her some place to put a few different items that otherwise she didn't have a good spot for. And it'll add a little something to her wall. Now, if we had a little more time, I actually would paint the room something a little more neutral. She said when she was nesting with her oldest, back when she was pregnant with her, she was just like, I just need to paint this room. And so she came and she just painted it. And she's like, I just have not liked it since. So that will be something I'll probably come back and help her do that one day. Not today though. Now to hang them up, I'm actually gonna use monkey hooks. I've used these a ton. I love them so much. You literally just take the monkey hook, pretend this is your drywall, okay? Normally a nail just goes straight through. And so if you don't anchor it, there's nothing for it to grab onto and it gets really loose, okay? Well, with these, you're going to poke it through and you see how that like gives tension on this and it keeps this really stable. But some can carry like 25 pounds each, some can carry like 100 or more, just depending on like how thick they are. So this shelf's not gonna be carrying a ton of weight. These can be your best friend, they're incredible. You can find them from like all different stores, different hardware stores. They're amazing.
I haven't been here in a while and it takes me back. Watch the spinning clothes. I was scared and all alone, counting every ceiling tile at the laundromat. Lost, but here I go. I might need a miracle. I got big dreams and a small bank account, but somehow I always figure it out. I'm so glad I took care of myself. Yeah, I'm really proud that I stood my ground.
This nightstand was screaming 2010 to us because of the mirrored finish. So I decided to pull out the mirror piece because it was actually already kind of broken off anyway. And I spray painted it this really pretty, just kind of tan neutral color. We're gonna stick that in and then put the little knob back on. And it looks so much better. It definitely elevated it a lot without having to replace the nightstand. That actually works great.
I can't tell, and I hate when I wake up. I hear traffic and get hit by all of my problems at once. The heavy weight in my chest like semi-trucks, but I got new friends I can call.
Okay, does this look familiar? If you have been here for a long time, I'm sure remember this from our guest room. Redid that room a while ago and my sister was like, if you were getting rid of that, will you hold on to it for me? And I was like, yeah, sure, we can come do something with it. And so I've held on to it for her and now it's gonna be perfect in here. She kind of has the same style as me. Like she loves like really earthy neutrals with greenery and lively, like live plants, things like that. And so this is just so pretty. It's gonna be what she'll see across from her bed. And it'll just help take up a lot of this like big, huge blank wall without it being like very, very busy and everything, because she like seems to be a little bit more simple. So I'm actually just gonna hang this up with command strips. We'll get it on the wall and it'll look beautiful, I'm sure.
I got big dreams and a little self-doubt, but somehow I always figure it out. I'm so glad I took care of myself. few scars. Thought I took cocaine by now, but I didn't. Figured I'd be broke, making bets on how I'd fold out here, but it's been a minute.
Okay, the next thing that we're gonna do is to put up the curtain rod. Now, when you are hanging your curtains, you wanna hang them typically floor to ceiling, and you also want to hang them outside of the window. Basically, you are framing the window, but you want as much height as you can, and it will make your rooms feel so much larger and so much taller and more spacious just by that. It's like a very cool optical illusion. It's amazing. So that's what we're gonna do here. I just got this gold curtain rod. I couldn't find a curtain that was tall enough, so I think I have one at my house. So I'm gonna go up here, bring it all the way up to the ceiling as high as I can go, and then bring it at least 1 foot out. Sometimes you can bring it a little bit further, but we're gonna see how to look about 1 foot out from the window. Okay, so there was a bench that I saw at the store today and I was like, oh, I really love it, but I wasn't sure if it would fit in here. And then I told my sister about it and she had to run out anyway, so she stopped by and she was like, I love this so much. So she picked it up, and that bench is gonna go right here, which would be so nice. It'll give her some more storage in here because it opens up, but then also it'll give her a place to sit in here. I mean, she has her chair at the desk, but it'll just give a lot more function, and it'll still leave a nice walkway here. But we are going to go ahead and start decorating the shelves, and then also a little bit on the desk, but keeping that still pretty minimal. Most of these items, like 90% of these were items from my house. So like we have a pretty diffuser. This is one of those like Young Living diffusers. Well, it's a Young Living diffuser dupe. So it's like $30 instead of, I think, like $200 or something. And then I just have like little boxes, some cute little arches. This one I thought was so pretty. This was actually just from Walmart, like $5. And then we have some different greenery. This was like $4.98, I think, at Walmart. And look how pretty. I just think it looks so much more high-end than that. These are some really pretty boxes. I've had these for a long time. They're from Amazon. It came in a 2-pack. So I like the stacked look of that. This frame was from the store today, but it was on clearance. And I love the arch. And actually it's just cute as is, like that. But we might put a picture in there. And then these little archers that I already had. She had this little balloon dog forever. And then this pretty picture that I'm gonna put a picture of her kids in there. So we're gonna put them up on the shelves and see how everything comes together.
Cloudy day. You make the world a better place. Yeah, you love dancing in the rain. You love talking on the phone. You do things other people don't. Make sure no one feels alone. You love talking on the phone. Don't know how I found you. I guess that dreams come true when you least expect them to. Ain't life funny? How did I get so lucky?
Even if you have just reading books, like you don't have coffee table books, go ahead and take off the dust cover on them and you'll see it just looks so much more high-end, and it makes your everyday reading book something that actually looks really pretty, and it kind of creates like a little styling option. So this is something that doesn't cost you any money. It really doesn't take any time, but it really does add to your space.
How did I get so lucky?
Moving over to the desk, I wanted to keep this really simple and kind of minimal, yet she doesn't have a dresser in here. She just uses her closet, and so I wanted to make sure that the desk added a little bit of function. So we're adding a diffuser because she is all about self-care and all of that kind of stuff. And then I also added in these really cute little cement storage boxes that gives her just a little extra storage and function on the desk. You'll see, but I end up actually kind of changing up the styling of the desk a little bit later, but we did keep with the added function. And then right in front of the bed on the other wall, I added in that beautiful storage bench. This is perfect because she loves to quilt. She actually taught herself to quilt. And actually, if you saw my niece's bedroom makeover, the throw blanket at the end of the bed was one that my sister actually made for her. So that was really fun to be able to add this in. It gives her a comfy place to sit in the bedroom, but it also gives her, again, more added storage. So anytime you can add storage, you're pretty much always going to thank yourself later for it.
When you're only counting time till the continents collide, but out your window, going somewhere new, I see it through.
One of the first things that I knew I wanted to do in my sister's bedroom was to get her a new quilt. And I wanted it to be really, really simple because I wanted the bed to be obviously a focal point, but I wanted it to be so neutral that we were able to add in other items throughout the room without making it feel really cluttered. And so I feel like white bedding is perfect for that because it really brightens the space, and it's also great. You can bleach it if you need. So I actually feel like they're pretty easy to maintain and clean, but they also are just like a beautiful backdrop. They match with anything. You can add on whatever throw blanket you want if you want to add a little color. And then of course, I love adding anything with texture. So that white quilt with texture was perfect for this. Something fun that I don't know if I've shared with you guys is my sister has actually been helping me edit my videos, and I love working together with her. It's been so amazing, and I feel like we're so alike in a lot of ways. So I love that now she has this beautiful space in her bedroom for that.
Come to your rescue, I see it through. And out your window, you're going somewhere new, I see it through. When the lies stick close to the truth, and the night is closing on you, and when you're feeling small, oh, you're bulletproof, I see it through. And out your window, you're going somewhere new, I see it through. And I see it through.
Also, a quick tip that I learned from my sister is anytime that you have wrinkled linens, go ahead and pop them into the dryer with a few ice cubes, and the steam will go ahead and unwrinkle your fabrics really easily. But also, I just want you to pay attention to how much taller the ceiling looks and the room feels now that we added those curtains. And the window actually looks bigger itself too.
Come on over, don't you wanna see how I've been? Don't you wanna pick up where we started? I don't wanna love you anymore. I don't wanna want you anymore. But I guess I do. But I guess I do.
Here is the before, if you remember this. So it was a really nice room. There was a good bit of function in here, but I would just say the whole room felt a little bit undone, and overall it felt like the entire room was just the bed. Like that was all that was in here. That was kind of the only function. And with just a few tweaks and not much time at all, it is a completely transformed space. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. I love this so much. I'm so thrilled with how everything turned out, and I feel like it was an even bigger transformation than I expected initially. But of course, we went ahead and we rearranged everything. We shifted the bed from being right in front of the doorway to underneath the window, which I typically don't love to do, but that's just kind of how it worked out in this room. And I actually ended up loving it so much. I, of course, course added in a new rug, a better size to go ahead and ground the space and pull it all together. I added in that beautiful textured white bedding. It's so pretty and such a beautiful backdrop that just kind of adds to the space and makes it feel larger without making it feel overdone or too busy. I also added in that functional storage bench, which doubles as a place to sit as well as storage for her yarn. We also found the perfect spot for her desk, which kind of doubled as a nightstand and a desk, and then we customized the desk and the nightstand and kind of made them feel like a more of a matching pair with those beautiful gold knobs. Of course, the floor to ceiling curtains, which is perfect. It made the window look larger and it made the space feel a lot brighter, and it also made the whole room feel larger, taller, and more open because we kind of tricked your eyes, making them go up and out. And then those arch shelves that we added on the far wall with some pretty decor just to make the space a little bit more cozy and homey. I feel like everything came together so beautifully. I cannot believe this cost $150. That's like blows my mind. I was there every step of the way and it still is just incredible and amazing to me. As soon as my sister walked in and as soon as even all of her little kids walked in, they were like, how does your room feel so much bigger? There's so much more room in here. And I absolutely agree. It feels so much more spacious. It's definitely more functional and it's absolutely more cozy and inviting, and it just feels very put together overall. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this room. What was your favorite aspect that I brought into the space? And if you are not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join the family. I also want to give you a quick reminder to go ahead and check out Earth Breeze. As always, thank you so much for being here. I'm so incredibly grateful for you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.